Cheguei, Deixe na telinha. Vambora. Peguei um pãozinho aqui. Aceitam? Botei um salaminhozinho ali.
It's a couple of big ultimates in mid to late and decimates the opponents. What is Plata gonna play? This isn't very exciting, but
Sir Thomas,
we have had a lot of pinch wins.
Sai da frente da minha cadeira, Seca.
Do think he is
Rapaziada, ontem foi aniversário do meu cachorro, hein? Por favor, todo mundo mandando feliz aniversário pro meu cachorro. 2 anos que tá comigo. 2 anos, quer dizer, 2 anos de vida.
In this case,
it's won twice in this series, right?
Yeah, it did.
So it's 7-3.
Yeah.
70% win rate so far.
Ele vai ler, vai.
Zir gets taken again.
Yeah, I was about to get into that, and maybe it's better that I don't, because we know our
Obrigado,
at
guys.
this point. I feel like we don't need to repeat it.
And now one of these teams realize that Melio exists. That's good too.
I could have known. Now, this does mean that Def's probably going to go towards the on-hit variety of Varus, so going to
Fala pra ele terminar esse corte aí. Essa foi boa. Mostra ele, tá deitado aqui no meu pé. Pô, não é meio errado, não? Todo mundo me chamar de pitbull e meu cachorro ser um border collie? Ah, para, né? Vou te doar, hein?
But Aatrox is banned. These KT bans are throwing me for a loop. I feel like they were doing perfectly fine into all of this. Cassante still open.
They might ban it and then just say, you know, no, never mind. Lee Sin gonna be taken away from Pioshik. Probably a good idea as Udyr is immediately locked in on the side of Perfect, which means maybe we don't get to see Cassante in this game.
I do like the Gnar. Gnar is another one of those picks that has been slowly coming up, and the more I see of it, the more I'm like, isn't he just really good again? Like, isn't he actually just great? I feel like we've seen so many high impact Gnar players.
Meu Deus, o Perfect GG, guys. Aqui foi.
Even had one, which is still somewhat mind-boggling to me. As Maokai taken away, Rel taken away, Sejuani taken away, so he's gonna have to be something proactive here for Sponge. His tank junglers no longer available. Poppy could be an option here, but I do think that into what KT roster have so far, the Poppy just isn't going to feel that great, right? Look at the limited
Piocic, não inventa, Piocic. Piocic, não inventa, Piocic.
Top of people as Poppy into Emilio can be quite hard. What does Piocic lock in here as it's Barrel, guys. Never trust Barrel.
Something that works well with the Orianna. Viego is fine. You don't necessarily want to go full dive if you're the only one that's going to be diving, and you know, so you don't really want to pick like a Nocturne in this situation. So I think the Viego is all right.
Viego?
In this case.
Yeah. The one thing I am worried about, Veldas, is looking at these comps. I dare you to find a hard engage of any type.
Well,
Dito isso,
yeah, I know. That's not what I'm
Deixe
looking for.
Does that count?
So basically, that to me can mean one of two things. Either the team that gets ahead early really becomes extremely overbearing, because hard engage are one of the best ways, right? Like these type of snap engages to get your way back into a game when you've lost control. Or this is like a 45-minute game, because either team is just going to be sitting down looking at each other.
Hell
like,
yeah.
You go first.
Saturday Showdown. We got
Saturday Showdown.
Assim,
That's a great team-o.
tem que ver como é que o top vai ser, né, guys? Porque lá bate o D, velho. Ainda mais que o Rascal é melhor.
Kill the enemy. Yes.
I thought KT stood for. I've seen a variety of copy pastas.
Mano, a letra ali em coreano era um rosto, velho. É isso mesmo?
That's a good one. Yeah. Kill the enemy. There's nothing else I can add. I mean, that's
simplicity, Veldas. It's poetry.
It's
truly.
Poetry. Yep. Well, guys, we're ready to hop out of the rift for game number 3. Here we go. Third game so far today. Tom Kent 2-0. Will he be 3-0? Will DRX pull off the upset? You were talking about slightly underrated picks, Gnar specifically. I think Xinjiao, just with the amount of jungle picks we see, or rather jungle tank picks we see, and also the wide pool of jungle champions that are played nowadays. We just don't get to see too much of Xinjiao.
Será que o Setab ganha jogo de Azir, guys?
You see him and you're like, man,
He is good.
he's really good. This is just a straight up good pick.
Yeah, he is, and we've already talked about this a little bit, but I have a pretty firm belief as well that as we get into the next patch that we should see more of him because the tank items are getting nerfed. I don't know if it's enough, because generally when we see...
É que assim, guys, eu acho que as comps não se enquadram pra essa série, guys. Porque eu acho que a KT é bem melhor que a DRX. Apesar de ter perdido um jogo, eu acho que a KT é bem melhor que a DRX. Então, tipo, por exemplo, Azir ganha na side da Orianna, tá ligado? Vai se aplicar aqui? Vocês acham que o Setab vai ganhar na side do PDD? E aí?
As the laning phase already looking not great for DRX, and this has been one of their consistent big issues.
Speaking of which, bottom lane not looking any better. It turns out that Melio, with a pick that's got pretty good range and good laning ability, is really strong. And we should see more Melio. And he's not only good in these scenarios, he's really
Pior que o Milho é muito roubado, velho. O Baiano sempre esteve certo.
and at denying engage.
Also do know Deft going for the W second here, which makes sense, particularly if you're playing with Melio and lethal tempo. Getting extra blight stacks is going to give you so much extra damage in these longer trades. And as we can see, Sponge was double tracked. So
Quem acompanhou o LCS ontem com o Ezinha?
In his top side, and now also that he is getting spotted here. He doesn't know about this invade, but he might have a suspicion. We'll see if they actually...
O Bivoy foi jogar ontem, pegou Kalista. Ah, pô, beleza, o Bivoy é bom de Kalista. Você sabe o que o mid dele jogou, guys? Garen mid. Garen mid contra a Thalia.
Sponge on Vision, still gonna go for the 1v1 versus Pioshik's Viego.
O Viego é roubado, né? Nesses duelinhos assim, ó. Não, o Viego é uma merda, né? Como um todo. Mas nesses duelinhos assim, que ele pega, mano, pra alfinetar.
Sponge at the end of the day, just gonna have to run away. Satab also gonna have to run away. Rascal also gonna have to run away. Bottom lane has stabilized. A little bit.
Truly a glass half full kind of guy, aren't you, Veldas?
Yes.
There is something that isn't getting kind of massacred. And these are my favorite types of drafts, where not only do you have really good lanes, but also this composition scales really well.
Tá passando mal o top ali.
It is not that big in the range departments, but outside of the Azir, neither is your opponent until we get to like mega late game. And you have great front line. You have a lot of consistent damage. You have a lot of Baron threat. You have Melio, who I think is definitely one of the most busted supports we have in the game at the moment.
Nossa senhora.
So things are good for KT if they don't win early, but they are, because their lane matchups are also very good.
Meu Deus, a cena só tem 10 de farm.
Knock up here on a death. He might be kited out, but unfortunately, Letta doesn't really have any support because Teddy was pretty far behind the play and is pretty low on health and mana regardless. Satab and BDD did teleport back into this lane. And again, they opted into this choice. They did decide, okay, well, Satab's really comfortable on the Azir. We're just going to play it again into the Orianna. That's the way it's going to be.
And not the end of the world by itself, but yeah, when you start seeing these gold leads across the board, it's going to make any subsequent play really, really tough. Pioshik also, as we have seen already, is very happy to continuously invade, and it's kind of remarkable that
O Salaminha é muito bom, guys. Que isso?
should be able to pick up his big Krugs here as well. But just losing the red buff really puts you on such a slow pace compared to your opponent. As Barrel is trying to push the wave, but there is a Kench there, so he definitely shouldn't be allowed to, and won't be. Early Dragon is being started here. Maybe there's an opportunity, because Teddy cancelled his back.
Sponge is coming in.
He's strong.
He's gonna say hello. I mean, Barrel pretty low on health at this point in time. Sponge, though, in a 1v2 for now, waiting for his teammates to join. And
Pô, tá ruim aqui não pra KT? Tô apanhando muito já. Meu Deus, o Dash ficou maluco. Meu Deus, o Pleata ficou maluco. Tá todo mundo doido nessa porra. Legends never die! Meu Deus, die sim. Que nível é esse, meu Deus? Caralho, porque o setup não foi?
And it's the experience, I think, of KT that really pulls through there, as well as the power of Milio and Varus, particularly
CBLOL de madrugada, vocês já viram?
trades, right? Auto, and proc those Blight stacks. Just continuously keep that. The health bars were very low. And if Stateup had gone for a big ult play, then maybe they would have found an angle, but the moment that Pioshik goes in there, they really don't want to run the risk of having this Viego get a couple of early resets and really make the game unplayable. So instead they kind of hesitate while still committing, which is the worst of both worlds. Either fully back off, accept that you lost the at least the early game, and just take your loss.
E a rapaziada fala que a DRX ganharia o CBLOL invicta. Ganharia ataca do meu mano Tinoso, do meu mano Tokuili.
And Stateup just like flash ults and tries to hit a bunch of people. But they didn't do either of those. And as a result, KT now 2k gold lead at 7.
E ganha nada, guys. Ganha nada. Core JJ, campeão do mundo. Tomou um pau pra mim, aposentado, pô. Pelo amor de Deus. Imagina esses aí que nunca ganharam nada.
Yeah, it's split calls. Pada going in that deep, in of itself, is okay. The rest of the team.
Palafox tinha acabado de ganhar LCS, ganho da NRG no Mundial. Core JJ. Tomaram um pau pra minha zaia bolada. Aí tu acha que o, sei lá, o setup vai ganhar. Para, né, mano? Não ganha do piloto, mano. Piloto de Azir, forget o setup.
It is a very big punish, as we do see Perfect also using some of that good old, definitely not Tiger form to hurt Rascal.
Yeah. Definitely not. No. Absolutely. No way. And now Pioshik is going to get to work on this. He's on vision, doesn't seem to care too much. They ping the ward, he's going to pull it out just in case. And it should be theirs. They're going to take down the ward as well.
And this is such a good, very simple example of what priority gets you in League of Legends, because you have the early laning phase, meaning you can get first every single objective, you can set up, and your opponent is going to always have to catch the wave and then respond. So either they give up the wave and try with you knowing where they are, knowing what's happening, and an experience lead, and if they back off, then, or if you back off rather, then they also don't
Toma do Deft.
catch all their minions.
Deft tá querendo o jogo, tá? É isso, galera. A gente tem que pensar assim. Pra decidir se o Deft vai jogar bem ou não. É assim. O boneco era meta em 2015? Era. Logo, Deft joga bem. O boneco não era jogado em 2015? Não era. Logo, o Deft não sabe como jogar. Varus é um boneco pré-histórico, pô. O Varus é tão antigo, mas tão antigo, que na época não era nem Minion. Na época que era meta.
Yeah, I mean, Perfect is very far up the lane, but he's going to dodge that. And do they have the damage is really the question. Lots of slows here on the Perfect.
É, meu mano, Perfect. Ficou esquisito pra você, hein? Meu Deus do céu. Boneco roubado.
Quite a lot, but at the end of the day, if you have that much time in a 2v1, you will just go down no matter who you are.
That was a big risk taken there by DRX, because if Pyosik at any point shows up, they may have had an opportunity to turn that around, but...
O Deft deve falar assim, Pyosik deve pegar Graves, o Deft, ué, mano, tá de AD Carry, pô.
Yeah, he knows, and there is Rascal here as well. The flash on in.
Nossa, jogou bem, Esponja.
And now here comes Rascal once again on the chase, but Blastcone is going to deny us from any fun or action. So Rascal will just take a Void Buff.
And good sidestep there by Sponge on the ultimate from BDD. That's going to be a first and small win here for DRX.
Eu preciso de uma resposta de vocês, guys, porque eu ainda não me decidi. É fraude ou não é?
Your Zinzao and Gnar need a lot of time to pull through. Perfect being that far up, unfortunately not going to be allowed. Pyosik was in the area, but I think he was already pathing away by the time they actually saw that Sponge was there. But very important, because if DRX lose full control,
Eu acho que ele é mais ou menos. Acho que ele é mais ou menos.
That is going to really cost you. A Sponge is just doing it again.
Just gank Udyr. Has nobody tried this before?
Caralho, não pegou esse stun.
Feels like that, but yeah, they're trying to get on in here. Rascal's getting pretty low. The turn is coming in, but it doesn't quite matter, as Perfect doesn't have much damage himself.
Meu Deus, roubou a kill, mano.
And this is what so many LCK teams have done, and with how many new challenger players we have, is a more and more popular strategy, which is find the rookie and murder him repeatedly. Now, we'll see if that is going to go unpunished. We saw maybe an attempt at a dive, but Pyosik instead just going to take the jungle and leave it at that. And they will instead be happy with just picking up a bunch of blades. But
Drake pra cada... quer dizer, Drake pra KT, uma larvinha pra KT e duas pra DRX. Ué, o Udyr ali tava de tigre. Não tava de tigre? Pega tigre pra Udyr. Pra mim não pegava, pô.
Remember when Tom Kent's just had Devour on like a 18
I can't believe that was in the game.
And he had insane, you know, map-wide, basically.
Pega level 8? Legal. Pra mim não pegava, pô. Talvez seja por isso que o meu Udyr não deu certo.
I gotta say, with those two ganks working out and Rascal now being in a good spot, even with the early game going the way that it did, genuinely, DRX's chances aren't too bad. This is
não, ele vai upar a Phoenix, guys. O Udyr não vai upar o Tigre. Acho que ele upa a Phoenix mesmo, né? O R? É, o R. Faz tanque normal, só que em algum level aí ele pega um ponto do Tigre, acho que só pra bater na torre, né? Pra ganhar ataque speed e tal. É, R e depois W, sim. E depois o E, né? O Tigre só deixa um level só.
The matchup becomes really hard to play out for Udyr, and unlike some other games where, you know, kill rookie then gets answered by something else, wasn't that much that KT was able to get on the other end of the map.
Cara, vou falar uma coisa pra vocês. Se a DRX pegar esse Drake aí, tem um mundo onde eles ganham esse jogo, tá? Eu acho que eles vão começar a ganhar muito tempo de game, velho. E esse Nara aí pode bagunçar o game.
For this Drake here, they say this one is ours. Even Rascal running all the way down the river. Into Rolster, thinking about fighting for this one still.
They really shouldn't, but I didn't know if they've spotted Rascal yet. Doesn't seem like they have.
They're gonna go for the fight afterwards, as the shockwave is pretty big. As Save Tap doesn't.
Meu Deus, olha o setup jogando LOL. O Nart chegou. O Nart chegou, guys.
And now Rascal just trying to go 1v3 in this situation. Deft is kind of going madman right now. As Pyosik is going to go down, and Deft, he is going to get Nard into the wall.
Guys, Deixe ganhou.
In the fight here for DRX.
Oh, and KT, they see the and still the sight.
Guys, Deixe ganhou.
I think they had a couple of opportunities to back off. Yes, the gold lead not really growing because of the fact that the first robot goes over to the Udyr and he shoves in another wave. But I really think that the moment
a DRX ganhou
on the wave, they ping him even, that should be the end of it. We actually see the chain stop Satab mid-dash, which is why his ultimate doesn't end up doing anything. But
mano, o Blue Side ganhou todos os jogos?
Just leave here. you know, Pioshik, you have the stealth. Just go back to your turret. But no, KT take the risk, and they kill a Zinzao.
Mano, a DRX ganhou todos os... O Bullseye ganhou todos os jogos.
Is the right play there, but instead,
Yeah.
I'm sure much to the dismay of their coaching staff, losing the dragon is fine if you get the great cross.
Assim,
Now,
é aquilo, né? Eu acho que o jogo tá melhor pra eles. Bem melhor. Só que eles são um time pior, né? E na LCK a gente já viu que o time favorito sempre ganha, meu Deus, eles ganharam. O Rascal vai fazer um V9, mano. Na área é muito roubado, velho. Na área é muito roubado, guys. Eles ganharam esse jogo.
and at the beginning of this week, I think we saw somewhat of an awakening from Teddy. And maybe now it's Rascal's going to be like, guys, I swear I was really good 2 years ago. Everyone was sad that I didn't make playoffs, okay? We were KT, we weren't very good. I was the solo kill king.
I remember, I was sad.
We were there,
We were
and
all
we were
sad.
all sad. We're like, man, this guy has had such a good season, and he just didn't get rewarded. Well, guess what? Maybe this is where that guy comes
Caralho, ele
back
viu o
again.
cara entrando, né, mano?
I don't know,
Toma o
man.
fast combo do
Maybe
Nar.
sure they saw him, right?
Maybe he was like, at that point, I'm dead anyway, but I don't think he was. Pioshik was also on the way.
Yeah, you
So,
just press W and run.
Narzinho tá
I
muito
imagine
forte,
that maybe
velho.
they were trying to set up a trap for one mega. It doesn't matter. He has Black Cleaver.
He thought he was unseen, I guess.
Must have been.
Yeah, trying to set up a trap, I think you're right.
And I don't even think that this is, obviously some of this is on perfect, but that's only
Jogão, tá? Jogão aqui.
And that's also
Eu não gosto muito de vários de ataque speed, velho. Sinto que o Vale de Attack Speed tem muito menos dano que qualquer outro boneco, velho. Se ficarem parados na frente dele, beleza, dá muito dano. Aí ok. O problema é que ele tem pouco burst, tá ligado? Ele demora pra... Ele tem que ficar... E pô,
Another.
se ele é um AD Carry que consegue ficar hitando infinito, parabéns pra ele, pô.
Yeah, I really like that time that Pioshik nearly died and then he got away because there was a blast cone. That was some good planning from Pioshik to put that blast cone there.
But it is the Infernal Rift, so you can't actually plan
That was before the Infernal Rift came out, actually.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
you know, hey, sorry, Velvet. I should know not to get
Such a sensitive,
I know, I know,
topic there.
that's
I
on
don't
me,
know about
that's on
that.
me. I shouldn't get into an argument with you when it comes to blast cones, especially now that none of your ire is aimed towards stopwatch anymore. You know that's solved.
2 itens já no Nar. O meu único medo aqui da DRX não ganhar esse jogo é o meu mano Setab de Azir.
But yeah, that's still a thing.
Ooh. Nice.
Cara, o Dir é -1 nesse jogo, velho. -1, não faz nada, velho.
Yeah, the siege is pretty good too. Never mind. I immediately cursed it. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. They're all just standing on the ball and 4 people get hit by the shockwave. And BDD is running his way to the bank now.
I no idea. I'm like, man, they are clumped up.
que foi isso, velho?
They can see the ball, then they get hit by Deft Ultimate. And
Cara, o que foi isso, velho?
Well, surely they will flash. Not to. No, they just.
Mas sério, pega o replay. Os caras tomaram ult do Varus, ó. Os caras tomaram ult do Varus e ficaram parados. Ó, ult Varus no Azir. Ó, aí todo mundo fica do lado dele, parado. Aí a bola...
Okay.
E morreu também, tá? Ele morre. Vai voltar a flash do TK. Ai, não voltou ainda.
It almost feels like what happened like in game 2, KT.
Cara, os caras literalmente, velho, viu a bola e...
I guess they forgot.
They were so clean in game 2. And then I'm sure Hero's like, good job, guys. Just play like that. He didn't really impart them with the knowledge of what they
That's why you gotta yell at them every time. No, I'm kidding. You shouldn't do that either.
Os caras sentaram na bola.
Ginormous amount of damage.
Yeah,
And they're just gonna let this one go.
yeah. So that I think that this, because it's not a soul point, is still kind of okay. I would like them to push in another way.
Guivaram o Drake pra pegar a torre, pra pegar gold, né?
Opting not to go for
É.
that.
De boa, não?
Because accelerating your gold lead at this point.
CBLOL de madrugada é foda, mano.
And it's
Cara, LCK literalmente é CBLOL de madrugada, né?
Still, though, I think KT at this, on the flip side, like we criticize KT a lot, but I think it's also important to frame that in the light of they are the clear favorites here today by like a large margin.
It was 97% fan vote on one of the Korean websites.
And their second game showed why we thought that they are the team to beat, right? They are the team that is much better in the Saturday Showdown.
Ainda não teve jogo de da T1, guys. Jogo da T1 é depois desse jogo aqui. Como é que eu pensei que morreu aqui, velho?
It's the mini game.
Of course,
it got him.
You don't have a choice.
Not even Blasco.
Caralho,
o Spawn joga, mano. Ele é bom. Eita, startaram o Baron.
And they're slow on this. Yoshik doesn't have vision.
That might just be it.
Zoning him away. Yep, Gnar over the wall.
Pararam.
Enough damage as ball over the wall. He's getting in. He's using it again. The third time.
Ele roubou 3 Baron já.
How does he keep doing this? And how does he get away with it as well? DRX with 2
Ele é viciado em roubar.
He can't keep getting away with this.
Caralho, que loucura, mano. Mano, ele não para de roubar, mano. A torcida gritando. Caralho, mano. Ou deve ser muito da hora, né, mano? Tu tá assistindo assim o jogo presencialmente e rouba um Baron.
He's been in high pressure situations where he's won and lost 50-50. So, regular season game in week 3. It's not gonna phase him.
Like, so they have a lot of damage here with the Azir.
O que aconteceu, mano? Que ele conseguiu entrar. Nossa, acabou o dano, né, mano? A cena parou pra ultar, velho. Caralho, velho. Ô, o Spawn é ruim de Smite, hein, mano. Nossa, ficou com 1k há muito tempo, velho.
The chomp for like maybe half a second, you get one more piece of CC off on that Viego.
How many times? It's 3, Deft. It's 3. That's how many times he's stolen the Baron today.
And that, look at the camps as well for DRX.
O Gold empatou, né? Só que agora vai abrir mais Gold aí pra...
As again the objective flip doesn't go their way.
Vai abrir mais Gold aí pra KT. E eles têm um Drake na frente. Mas eu acho que o jogo ainda tá de boa pra DRX, guys. Falar a real. Era pra estar melhor, né? Mas...
That is a KT gold graph that we're seeing right there, though.
Yeah.
I do appreciate their commitment to...
We're on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
That's just what's happening today.
What type of roller coaster would they be? I imagine wooden, right? It's got to be as rickety as possible.
As rickety as possible. Absolutely.
What's your favorite type?
I don't go on roller coasters.
Todo mundo tem flash no jogo.
I love wooden.
Próxima fight vai ser doideira.
Well,
é que a comp da...
This one we're kind of used to by now. I'll go on this.
A comp da KT é ruim, hein, mano.
Sometimes against my will. The KT is always fun to watch, I suppose.
Nossa, a comp da KT é ruim, velho. Nesse momento aí. Eles não têm gauge, só ult do Varus.
Rascal, I mean, he was pretty strong, but still not really able to chunk perfect down in the 1v1.
Yeah, he still needs more time.
Eles têm menos range do que a Senna e do que o Azir.
Doesn't really have the ability to very quickly get through this health bar.
O problema é que eles têm Baron, né?
The mid lane can be tough as well. As we do see here, Perfect is also itemizing up until this point into just straight up full armor. And it does make it hard for Rascal, even with the cleaver, to carve his way through that. And as mentioned, I don't think that this is a game.
O Gold tá aí, vem.
Still
agora.
Quite nicely. And with the complete lack of engage that we have on either of these teams, I think this is going to be a long game, Vels. As you point out very nicely, Lichbane here again for Satap, and I really wish, with the amount...
We need a Huni wellness check.
Yeah, we need a Huni wellness. Maybe we can get a camera on the space, you know. I imagine he's just draped over the couch looking miserable. Because
O que a cena vai fazer ali? Canhão? Acho que é, né? Aquela dagger ali vai fazer um canhão. Mano, guys, o que é aquilo ali?
Wolf is sinking into the ground. Someone save him.
Someone save Wolf! He's not okay!
Fazer ali?
What was that? That was really scary. Okay.
He's just experiencing the roller coaster, okay?
Será que eles conseguem fightar? Eu acho que aqui, mano, ó, pra KT fightar, é só se eles acertarem uma bola. Uma bola, mano, absurda ali. Tá, ult do Varus, gastou. Cara, o Di não toma dano, velho. Tomou dano.
As it might just be another flip. Perfect trying to create some space. This dragon is getting low. Ingo save tab. He hits one person, and it does go to DRX actually, and a massive again this time.
Oh, na bagunça, hein?
But take a look at Rascal on the backside, chunking out a couple of people. Unfortunately for him, he is alone. Take a look at that. Melio pretty good.
Bagunçou.
The Cinders. Pretty nice.
For chance?
He's getting over the wall. I think Perfect can now escort him out of here as, oh, he's able to get out.
É.
And
Não saiu de todo ruim não, né?
he didn't want to go on Rascal here as he goes in Mininar, but yeah, he's just going to walk this one out.
So, by the end of it, basically even.
Mano, o setup ele é esquisito, né, cara?
Yes.
Rascal?
Caraca, o flash mais fácil da vida dele.
Okay.
It's a roller coaster. As we do take a look, and I understand the willingness from KT to go for this fight.
Como que foi essa fight? Acho que o setup que trollou, né? Deixa eu ver o Sponge, o que o Sponge fez.
Satep is going to go in here to try and get both Deft and Barrel, but isn't really actually able to trap everyone. Good flash from Deft there. And then it looks like they might win the fight and then
O Pleata também podia ter comido ele, não comeu. A Oriana conseguiu lutar 3 caras. Mas assim, agora os caras não tem flash pra jogar essa próxima fight.
We are just poking, Veldas.
Just poking. And
oh, they're gonna start Nash again, aren't they?
É, os dois times não tem engage, mas pelo menos o time da DRX tem mais range. E eles podem fazer Baron. Aí os dois times fazem Baron, né? Quantas almas tem? 89 em 28 minutos de jogo? Meu Deus do céu, cara. Pior cena que eu já vi.
If we're just sitting here and they're not
eventually Senna wins, right? Eventually. Just keep getting souls.
Alright, perfect. He's got a check. Doesn't take any damage.
He did check.
Pô, não tem engage, guys. As comp não tem engage, mano. O único engage que tem aqui é qual? Tipo assim, vocês podem falar que o ult do Varus é engage, mas não é, né, mano? Engage é tipo um Nautilus, uma Hell, entendeu? Uma Malphite. Isso é engage. Tipo, Nar não é um engage, tipo, confiável. Ele não vai conseguir engajar sempre. Meu Deus, o Sponge morreu. Para o fogo de vida. A Oriana pegou. GG.
DRX, I don't know why they decided to send it in this moment, but that was their decision to make. And KT is able to get the job done.
Ele acerta?
One way or another.
Não.
Clean and calculated game plan.
Mano, que loucura, né, velho? Que joguinho louco, velho. Acabou? Acho que acabou, né? 10 segundos. É. Não, o spell não acabou, não. Acabou, não. Porra, mano, mas... time...
Why did Pioshik fight so early, by the way? Was he about to die?
I think so, yeah.
It was so chaotic. I don't even know what happened. Like, I need to see the replay.
Yeah, no, he did get very, very low. And if DRX actually play around this...
O que aconteceu aqui, mano? O Sponge quis virar.
His engage gets cancelled, so they go
Aí comeu ele, deu flash, comida nele. Ao invés dele bater no Baron, né, pra, tipo, tentar fazer. Não entendi.
Pioshik ends up almost going down.
42.
Yeah, if Plata would have gotten that, it still wouldn't have been enough by itself, but at the very least they would have not lost so much of their base.
Yeah.
The gold would have been huge, but instead DRX...
Talento dos coreanos tá acabando? Ah, galera, esses caras são bons, né, mano? Tipo, tem que entender que esses caras aí são bons. Eles só não são melhor que os outros. E outra, né, tipo, pra você ser um bom jogador, não é só saber jogar LoL, tá ligado? Não é só, tipo, habilidade e ponto na solo kill que te determina ser um bom jogador. Tem toda uma questão psicológica, né? Às vezes o cara é bom jogador, mas fica nervoso. Às vezes o cara não sabe lidar com pressão, não sabe trabalhar em equipe. Então tem várias outras qualidades, além da habilidade, que definem se você vai ser ou não um bom jogador. O setup é bom? Provavelmente, mano. Provavelmente esse cara é bem rankeado na solo kill, tá ligado? Só que é aquilo, né, mano? Às vezes o cara não vinga, né? Quantos jogadores a gente já viu no Brasil que são aelo pra caraca, chega no CBLOL, chega no Academy e não joga bem?
Should be the nail in the coffin, this Baron going over, because now KT, with the lead that they have, can get on every wave.
A gente consegue falar alguns, não? A gente consegue falar muitos jogadores com essas características.
Solo game-winning threat, but particularly with the build that Setup has gone for, Perfect does not take damage. I again want to reiterate that, particularly with Emilio healing him as well. And Senna does not deal well with tanks.
Então é isso, tipo assim, a DRX não é boa, tipo, comparado aos outros times da LCK, não é. Mas eles são bons jogadores, tá ligado? Individualmente. São jogadores, mano, muito bom comparar no mundo todo. O problema é que, de repente, sei lá, o setup fica nervoso e toma as decisões ruins. Ou às vezes ele é um cara que fica muito quieto durante os jogos oficiais, tá ligado? Tem várias paradas. Eu não sei, tá ligado, o que pode ser. Talvez a pool dele. Qual a diferença da T1? Pô, mano. É que é foda, né? Não dá pra você falar da T1 sem falar do Faker, né? E a gente já viu que o Faker, ele é diferente, tipo... Ele entende muito do jogo, ele fala muito. Vocês já viram o Faker mexendo a tela, né? Ele mexe a tela toda, vê todo mundo, vê tudo. Ele comanda o jogo todo. Tá ligado? Como seriam os 4 jogadores ali da T1 sem o Faker? A gente viu. Eles perderam pro pior time da LCK. Entendeu? Então, tipo, a T1 é um caso à parte, porque eles têm um jogador que é muito diferente de todos os outros. E aí talvez ele supra a necessidade, né, a deficiência dos jogadores, tá ligado? De repente, sei lá, o Honor é igual um setup, muito bom na solo kill, só que chega no competitivo e joga mal. Só que ele tem o Faker, né? Entendeu? Não tirando o mérito dele, óbvio que não, mas vocês entenderam, né, o que eu tô querendo dizer. A T1 não é exemplo, tá ligado? A T1 é um caso muito à parte, não dá pra usar a T1 de exemplo. Tem que usar, tipo, o Chove, tá ligado? Porque o Chove é tão bom individualmente, todo mundo fala tão bem do Chove, todo jogador profissional fala bem do Chove. Só que chega no Mundial e não joga bem. Qual que é a razão?
You're so right about the comps. They are going to be able to engage
Morreu.
just because he's out of position as Flash comes through. Nice dodge on the chains as he gets incredibly low and devoured.
Tá doido, olha esse Varus batendo, né, mano? Varus e milho, o cara só vai andando pra frente. Não vai ter flash pra essa próxima fight. Isso aí é, mano, muito bom pra KT. E eles estão 6k de gold na frente, né? Esse Varus aí, gigantesco.
On-hit magic damage as well. Yeah. So all or nothing from DRX, and I just hope that KT don't flip it unnecessarily. I know that's been working out well for them, but I feel like they just shouldn't have to go there. Because again, top lane inhibitor is up, but you still have pretty big threats in the side lane.
Well, they're desperately trying to take out this Sun turret. And DRX are defending it pretty well. The Baron is available. Could try to go for that. They might just wait for this Infernal Drake.
Assim, tem 3 itens, a Orianna tem 3 itens e meio. Os junglers... Caraca, cara, o Viego tá muito forte, velho. O Viego tem 3 itens e meio.
Caveats when you're talking about KT at this point in time, especially because what I wanted to say before is that you were exactly right, Chronicler. Nobody can engage.
No.
So we're just sitting here.
Yeah.
Drake minuto.
At the same time, though, what KT do is they send 4 people to Baron and 1 person solos Dragon. And DRX need to respond. They have very little map control, whereas KT has a lot. So there is an opportunity for DRX to reliably...
Batendo cara, hein, Ted? Ficar batendo só em ward vai ficar difícil de ganhar o jogo, velho. Mano, ele não faz nada, velho. Cara, um item muito bom pra cena aqui era a quarta shield, né? Morreu, Rascal. GG.
Somebody had to be the sacrifice, as Deft is basically just a fountain laser in his own right. Kyosik having a...
Tadinho, mano, os caras não tem dano, velho. O único cara que carregaria esse jogo aqui era o Rascal, só que o jogo ficou muito ruim pra ele depois.
Like Sponge, is he gonna be the hero? But it wouldn't even get the soul, right? And it looks like that is going to get taken away as, yeah, Deft is... And this again, like, who actually threatens Deft in this composition from DRX?
Not anybody.
O que ele vai fazer ali de item, velho?
Can deal with a flash. No. So, like you mentioned before, if it's
Mano, o Deft tá muito forte, velho. O Deft faz um V9 nessa fight, velho.
Getting engaged upon very swiftly. Satap just diving out of there, but Sponge is going to be left to the wolves, and down he will go. TP is coming in, and I'm not sure this is going to work out very well for Rascal. Has to get devoured, as now they're just on the run here. In goes Pyoshik. He is going to be booped away.
GA still.
Yep, that he does.
Cara, é muito dano, velho. Nossa, é muito dano, guys.
But again, not enough lockdown, so they're just going to run at the Baron instead.
Just do Baron. SKT from this point, there isn't anything that DRX can do. Objective is going to get given up. You see the teleport from Satap. They are very aware. Try and get as much shove as humanly possible. Rascal doing the same thing. Clear out all these waves. I don't know about Pleta. Although he does have, you know, was a Hollow Radiance.
Yes.
AP, Sunfire.
Meu Deus, ele pulou ainda. Porque ele não morre não, né? Corre muito. Morreu.
I'm willing to say probably not, but we'll see. Oh, Blast Cone 1.
No, they're just too
Vai
fast.
tomar.
Wait.
Blast Cone 2? No.
Surely.
Why don't you hit the blast? Okay, it doesn't matter. Just gonna take him down. Kosik will get...
Os caras vão vir pro GG.
I do think KT are playing it very leisurely as well. They're like, yeah, we just shoved the waves. And, yeah, we got inevitability on our side.
They do. Well,
they have Infernal Soul and Elder. Yeah. I hope they don't wait for Elder, but at this point, I'm not so sure of Eldas. They might want to really keep it low risk. They maybe, you know, like 30 minutes into that game, they just heard Hirai in their minds going, play it safe.
Yeah.
Don't
Setup de Aziz não dá não, velho.
That's what we're seeing right now.
Aí, tipo, a pergunta, por exemplo, setup de Azir. Ele não é bom. Eu acho, pelo menos, ele não é bom de Azir. Ele é melhor ou pior do que o Tokuli? O Tokuli lá? Ou será que é porque ele tá contra o BDD e o Tokuli joga contra o, sei lá, o Crashiel?
GA's now done for Deft, making it even harder to reliably get through him. Pioshik still has his available. There is Elixir for BDD. He has a stopwatch as well. Perfect is an impenetrable wall. And no one on DRX actually going to be able to get through him. It's just not looking.
Eu não sei, eu realmente não sei, tá ligado? Porque assim, a liga é diferente, né, guys? A gente vê o Setup jogando contra o BDD, pô, um dos melhores mid do mundo. O Turkuli tá jogando no Brasil, tá ligado? Então, tipo, tem uma diferença. Só que, pô, pelo que eu vejo, o Turkuli joga melhor. Tá ligado? Então não sei, eu realmente não sei.
Tanky as perfect, as BDD just waiting for his moment, and that's the second inhibitor to go down. Just gonna do it old-fashioned way, take down all the inhibitors, and then move in with your super minions. As they are gonna land that stun here on the sponge, perfect, looking for the angle, gonna force that devour early on. Deft taking a ton of damage himself, but he nearly takes out safe tab, and that'll do it. Nice snipe from Deft.
Cara, você nem jogou a fight, né? Caralho, que loucura, né, velho? Mano, achei o jogo da DRX legal, mano. O problema é que eles são muito piores, tá ligado? Mas eu gostei deles, mano. Jogaram bem, mano. Jogaram bem hoje, velho. Os caras também estão... Caralho, velho, o Varus tá muito tanque, mano.